We all know that Defense Attorney is an early access character, but when will he be released? So today we're gonna go over everything and see how much is done, how long it might take, and reacting to Higuruma's leaked domain. So let's go over what we know already. We do know that there's 3 moves in game. The first is extended swings. Yep. And then that has a variant that block breaks. Then we got Justice Serve, the new one. It also has a ranged attack. And we got grapple. And I didn't say this in my last video, but you can do a variant for this by pressing 3 and R. So boom, and I'll actually go behind them. You know what I'm saying? Also, you could do this. That's fire. Shout out to Froggo for telling me this, but there's a secret finisher. If you do this, it does a little vine boom with the Higuruma on top of it. But yeah, that's what we have already. And then at the bottom, you can see deadly sentencing, which is what the ultimate is going to be called. And we got a little bit of news about it. So as you can see, this picture right here is the domain expansion, but we'll get into that in a bit. He says that he needed more time to finish the 4th move, Awakening, and first ult move. So we know that he has the concept for those. So he doesn't have to come up with something or do anything like that. He just has to have the animations done, like a whole bunch of behind the scenes stuff. So that means we can at least expect these on the next update, hopefully. Now there has been instances where Z has been close to completing a character to our knowledge and he just hasn't. I think that was the case with Perfection, who went through a lot of changes. But when it comes to a character like Switcher, we just randomly got the character for free. We didn't even expect that. So I think Higuruma will probably fall somewhere in between there. I think if he gets the 4th move, Awakening, and first ult move done, then by the next update he'll be done. That's basically what type of scheduling he's on nowadays. So now let's talk about this right here. This is his sneak peek of the domain expansion. Now, what do we get from this? We know that this looks very similar to Higuruma's real domain. And as we can see, we see Z all the way over there and he's Higuruma, you know, because he has the hammer. And then we have a dummy who's in the other podium. I think this domain is going to be a lot simpler than what people really think it's going to be, but I think it will be very canonical. I think you should only be able to try one person at a time. I say try because it's like a court case, because it wouldn't make sense to have multiple people. I don't know what is going to happen if there's multiple people in this domain. Now, Gamma did put out a sneak, so we're going to react to that in a bit. But as of right now, all I can think of is them being witnesses or jury or something. Will they be involved? Like, can they actively do something in the domain? I think he will try to include it because it's a domain expansion. You're going to get multiple people in the domain. But it looks beautiful and very similar to this. Recently, they added a presets tab. And if you were to go to Shinjuku and go right in here, we actually have a Higuruma's domain. Now, this wasn't made by Z, I don't think. I think this one is by Midu and Haven. Shout out to you, bro. You're actually really talented. We have all the guillotines on the side here. His has effects in the background, which this guy couldn't do, obviously, because this is just a build. Very similar floor pattern. We don't see Judge Man. We don't. So I don't know if Judge Man's going to be included, which is not that... you touch that, you die. Why didn't I know this in my 25 facts video? Well, there's a fun fact. If you want to know 25 other fun facts, then click here or watch that later. Okay, Higuruma domain expansion sneak. This is the only video of Z's full screen I could find. Okay, so we see the domain pop out. It's Z's character with a suit on and Judge Man in the back. Okay, domain expansion. Ooh, that's a fire animation. Let's see that again. It like constructs itself hard. Okay, and yeah, there's just 2 podiums, just like in the sneak that he showed. Here's another POV. You can choose guilty or innocent. Oh, but I don't know if that's other people in the domain or Z. Wait, let me see. Yeah, that looks like from his perspective. Accused of Grand Theft Auto. Very interesting how that would work. Will be interesting to see the different crimes in JJS. Oh, Judge Man is there. Toolbar move name is hard to see, but it should be execution. And they get the executioner's blade. Okay, here's Gamma being hit by it. Now, in the video, I also have Gamma's perspective, but let's just watch this. Accused of using vessel? And the defendant can choose between confess or fight, just like Yuji had to choose. Player closest to Z is using Gojo. We can see this from the unique running animation. Bro, so much is going on. From this other POV, we can see the other player with them is using Megami. Gamma is Higuruma. Second player is Gojo. So I'm not sure why Z got Executioner's Sword here. Yeah, it's probably unfinished. Okay, let's watch the video. I think the video will be a little bit more clear and concise. Shout out to Sam Pioi. Okay, so it's replaying the video that we just had before. So boom, domain opens up, smooth animation. Confess fight, he chose fight, and then it breaks and Z gets Executioner Sword. But it doesn't one shot. Yeah, that right there, confess and fight. So you're gonna have options. You're gonna get to choose. Okay, that's pretty much it to the video. There's nothing cool going on in there. But that is so fire and it's so lore accurate to Higuruma. Do I think the domain is gonna be overpowered? Nah, I really don't. It actually might be a little underpowered. I think it'll be good for skilled players, but realistically, that's the problem with it, is when you get the death penalty and get the Executioner Sword, you still have to kill that person. And it depends on how OP it could be, but realistically, I see mans dying their ult all the time by players that are way better than them. So I don't think it'll be some insane broken thing. But let's really theorize about what the moves can be. So he has the fourth move done. I think that's going to be something chill. We have to remember, what is Higuruma's prowess? It's his genius intellect, fighting ability with his gavel. That's a main part of it because his curse tool does a lot for him. The only reason he was able to keep up with Yuji is the fact that he has his curse tool and Yuji didn't have any curse energy at all. Hand to hand wise, there's no chance. So realistically, it's going to be another gavel attack. All of his moves are gavel attacks right now, so it wouldn't make sense for the fourth one to be some random stuff. Now Higuruma has so much versatility with that gavel. As you can see in game, it could turn into a staff, it could turn into a sledgehammer, it could turn into a regular hammer, it could turn into a whip, it could turn into like a rope. It can disappear and reappear as he likes, like he's Sun Jing Woo. It could go on his right hand, left hand, it doesn't matter. So maybe the fourth move will be something like that, like it disappears, you do a punch and then it reappears, or like you hit them on one side, hit them on the other side. But regardless of that, I think it's going to be a gavel move. Then into his awakening, will it pop the domain automatically like Hikari? I actually think it's going to pop the domain right away, because why wouldn't you? And since Higuruma in the manga has a non-violent domain, I think he can spam that more than the average person. I think the average person with a domain expansion can do like 1 a day, maybe 2. I mean, Gojo and Sukuna are at their level, but also Higuruma has that potential. I just don't know if he can. I feel like the way to balance this character, because if you're going to have like a 50-50 domain where you don't get an effect, that's really going to be lame, especially when Hikari basically has invincibility in a jackpot, which you're not going to have. It might be that you pop the domain and you get a 50-50 of the outcome, not a 50-50 of you getting an upgrade or them getting nerfed, being either confiscation or death penalty. Now the way that works in the manga is depending on the severity of the crime and Higuruma's own take of the crime, you will either get a lighter or harsher sentence, lighter being confiscation, harsher being death penalty. When you get confiscation, usually your cursed technique is removed. Now in Yuji's case, he didn't have one, so his cursed energy was removed. And in Sukuna's case, he had a cursed tool, so that was removed. Now there's no cursed tool in the game, so you don't have to worry about that. There is cursed tools in the game. Heian Sukuna has it. I hope Z puts a little Easter egg in there. That would be fire if you literally take away their Komotoke move if you were to use it on a strongest of history. Anyways, besides the fact, so confiscation, literally take away their whole moveset. Literally, only let them M1, and that does allow mans to run away. You will have mans wall climbing and getting out of there, but at least they have no moves and they will have to reset their character. It'll kill their pride, you know what I'm saying? And then death penalty is the cool one. That's the one that you're probably gonna want, and that will give you a whole new move set with the Executioner's Blade. Honestly, realistically, it should be broken. Make it broken, it's fine. Like, remember bro, Max Blue does a lot of damage. If that can do a lot of damage, Executioner's Blade can do a lot of damage, bro. Will he get an awakened move set if you get confiscation? Honestly guys, if Z has to finish the base moveset, create the domain expansion, create an awakening moveset for confiscation, and create an awakening moveset with the Executioner's Blade, you're not seeing that character for another month, maybe 2. Okay, maybe not 2 months. Z works really hard. Shout out to Z. Round of applause for Z. But yeah, I guess if you also choose fight, you do have the possibility of dying within the domain and then it just collapses and you don't get anything. Like I'm talking about the caster. And I guess if you confess, then you're just a bitch. Like I don't... But do you agree with my points? If you have any of yours, please comment it down below, because you might be able to inspire Z. You never know if he's reading the comment section, be like, hold on, that's heat, let me do that. But if you want a chance of getting a free JJS Game Pass, then go follow my Instagram, because at 1K followers, I will be randomly giving 5 of you guys Game Passes. And when you're done that, if you want to see me react to Jujutsu Shenanigans movies, then click right here. Millz Mafia out. Yeah.